Hey everyone! So I am back and I'm back with my two Parmes. So today I thought I'd talk about how I went through my order process, what configurations I went with, and just how they're working in my current planner system. So since those were the type of questions I get asked every so often on Instagram, so I thought I'd just cover it all in a video and just have it there as reference. So yeah, let's get started. So first up, I'll just do a leather texture comparison. Hopefully the camera's picking up okay. So for my A6, this was the first one that I ordered. I didn't ask for any leather type preference, so it was just really what they were wanting to give me. So for this one, it is considered quite pebbly, especially at the back as well. If I could just play with the shadows. There you go. So in comparison to this one, this is a lot more squishy. I really actually love the pebbleness of this planner. As for, I think it was a while back where I don't know if it was like a post or an Instagram post regarding that the more pebble you go for in this leather Parme, it has like a slight grey effect on the pebble. At the moment, I would say I don't see it with my one. I don't know if it's just not as pebbly as probably what would have a bit more of a greyish tint, or I just didn't get that section of the leather, so I can't really comment on that, because when I put these two side by side, the colors are basically the same. The only thing is this one's more pebbly, so I'm not too sure on that point. As for this one, I did ask for a smoother texture for the personal wide, well, mainly because I just want a slightly different leather texture for the two, just to see how they're both like. I do love both. As for this one at the back, the texture here is basically the same as my A6. So the front is relatively smooth, and the scales are quite, the pebbles are considered really small, so it just gives that smooth look. So that's the two of them. So you can ask if it's possible to have a leather not as pebbly, or you want it more pebbled. They can take that into consideration from the company VDS or Spek, which is the full name. They are based in the Netherlands, and for the wait time for these two, each was around 5 weeks production time, but shipping is considered quite quick from what I remember, I think, because I actually sent mine to a friend in the US, and it arrived in like a week, so it was considered really quick. As for UK, I'm not too sure. It's been so long since I got my Noir VDS Senior, so if you go up, I think I might have mentioned it in that video, so it was quite early on that I posted that one, so I might have mentioned it in there. Otherwise, I don't really remember regarding sending to the UK. But yeah, so let's move on. So let's go through this planner. So I ordered through email. I didn't order through the website. So every specification, I just listed it out, and then Petra put it in an invoice, a PayPal invoice, and then we just did it through that. It's also same with my personal wide as well. So again, it was just straight through email. I didn't go through the system because the system is a little, for the specifications that I went for, it was a lot easier if I go through email. So that's something to keep in mind. Petra's a lovely person to talk to, so if you ever have any questions, just email VDS. I'm sure they'll do the best they can to help you get the planner you want. So once we open up, I did opt for a back pocket. I'm finding these are really handy actually. So my VDS, I've always had a back pocket. I also went for, so I'll just shuffle this along a little more. So for this configuration, this size on their website is called senior size, but it's called an A6, I think, just normally, with people in the planner community is just called an A6, and they just call it a senior, whereas their personal size, they call it a standard. So yeah, that's just to keep in mind whenever you're ordering. So on the left side, I'd added an extra pen loop here. The pocket here is like, I think the standard you get it is like at this height, so I just extended it a bit more, so I just get more room to put decorations like a bow or any sort of magnetic bookmark that I want. I also added an extra slip pocket here that faces out of the planner, and then there's 2 full height pockets that you get standard with this planner, so that is just not extra, that's just what comes with it. And then behind here I do get card slots. I'll just put this back. So for this size, the senior size, you get 5 card slots standard, but me being a little awkward, I asked for 4 because once I brought this pocket higher, the 5th pocket would be quite close. Well, the 5th card slot would be quite close to this one, and I thought that was a bit not as functional, and plus I didn't need that many in this size, so I just asked if I could just opt for 4 instead of 5. So that was the change on the left side of the planner. I went for 25mm silver Krause rings. That comes with a planner. If you want gold Krause rings, they are extra. And then for the right side, I kept it as it is. So this is the standard configuration you would get for the right side. So you get your pen loop, you get the this height of pocket, and you get 1 full height pocket. If I could redo this now, actually, I would add another full height pocket so both sides have 2. One reason being is that I like to sometimes put an A6TN insert in this slot and then just have it open up like a booklet, and I also like to put like these stickers here as well, so just having that separation, I think that would have been better for me, but this still works fine. So that's the only little change I would make for the configurations on the right. The left, I would just keep it as it is actually. So there's that. And as for the width of this planner, it's slightly difficult, or I hope I don't muddle everybody up. So the width I went for is the in between the unwidened version of the senior and the widened version. So this is the middle one. It's called the TM width, or the Touch Me width. It's the same width as my A6 Noir VDS, because the one I found on the website in their senior listing for the widened one is like 1 centimeter more on on both sides, and I found that a bit too square looking, so I preferred my Noir width, so I just asked if it was possible to have it that like that instead, and it was fine. So yeah, I really like this size. It could fit 2 pens, no problem, and also I use side tabs. I don't know if you can see there. They don't get squished at all, because these tabs, they're considered quite thin but really durable. Hold on, if I could just, you can see that they sometimes touch the pen, but most cases nothing gets squished at all. So I really like this width of the planner. It's not too wide that there's such a gap, and it's not too narrow that the tabs hit the pen. So yeah, that's one good thing about this size. So I'll go through the personal wide configurations now, and then I'll see about I'll think about doing either the flip throughs in a separate video. So this is the personal size that has been widened, or the standard size as they call it, that has been widened to 2 centimeters on either side, so 20 mm or 2 cm, whichever you prefer. to write down. And this is the one with the 30mm Krause rings in silver. So with that widened here, it fits personal wide inserts fine. And I also widened, oh no, not widened, lengthened the strap 5mm, 5mm. But now that I have it stuffed to the way I want it, I find that 5mm is a little too much for me. I probably would have been better going for 3 instead of 5, but I'll see if I can try and chunk this up later. I don't want it too heavy, because too heavy means I'm gonna be like holding up a dictionary in my back. So there's that. I need to make sure like the weight is not too heavy, that I want to carry it out to the library, to class and everything like that. And plus textbooks are already heavy as they are, so so that I need to take into consideration. But yeah, so that's the only change I would make for this planner, is just to change the length of the strap. Otherwise, I really like that I've added 2 centimeters onto the width. I've seen widths of 1.6 centimeter, 1.8, 2.5 for the personal wide. So it was really a gamble for me to do this, because at that point I don't think many people did 2 centimeters. It was either 1.8 or 2.5, somewhere along there. I think I've seen one that's 1.6. So I really wasn't sure, but I'm glad that I went for this. And then on the inside, I opted again for an extra pen loop, so I could have a highlighter in one and then just a normal pen in the other. And this planner is intended to use in my course, my uni classes. So that was the main intention of getting this planner, or else I wouldn't be getting this size, to be honest. I find this a little too big to write in for every day, but for my classes it's a good size to have. But yeah, so for card slots, again, you normally get 6, I believe, in this size, but I asked for 5 instead, because the 6th one would be around here, and I find that a little too close to the pocket that I also extended higher. So that's why I opted for 5 instead of 6. So that was the change here. These 2 are the standard full height pockets that you get with the planner. And then on the other side, so since I knew that I wanted an extra, I would have preferred an extra full height pocket in my A6, I added an extra one for my personal wide. So now that you can see, there's 2 full height ones here. And then I also opted for this higher horizontal pocket. So this idea was from Sierra, I hope that's how you say her name. She's called SM Plans on Instagram, and I believe the same on Facebook. And what she uses this for is like for notepads. I only have a couple of these, but I've lost half of it, so it's somewhere. But that was the original intention, so it would just be here and cover this bottom pocket, and I didn't mind. But at times, because this can no longer hold itself up there, I could do it this way, or the other way is, if I run out of the notepads, I can easily just decorate it like this and then add another magnetic bookmark here, and I'd be perfectly happy with that. So that's how I'm planning to use these pockets. I have been switching around in my personal wide, which is why you see the pockets at the back are a little empty and a bit empty at the front as well. I normally have sticker sheets in here, or documents that I have from uni, but that's about it that's missing, because I'll show you this. I did get my personal wide in Iris from Printpressions that arrived earlier this week. Or was it last week? So I've been using this one, and yeah, I've just rotated back in here so you can see how it was originally set up in this one. But yeah, so that's the configurations I went with. And oh, also did I show this is the big back pocket. And yeah, so that's the configurations I went with. for the two. So far, yes, it's working out okay. I don't have any issues with it. I really am happy with the configurations that I went with. At the moment, my A6 has been, well, during November and October time, I have been rotating between these two for my everyday carry. I've been more in this one than my VDS due to the bag being too heavy when I carry it to uni, so this was a better size to carry, but I've made sure that the inserts inside can just work with each other, so I can just switch over very easily. As for this planner, I got this quite late into semester 1, so I'm using it in semester 2 because it was a bit too late to finally catch up on all the notes and write them in here, and then also study and also just prep for exams. So I just decided to use this for second semester, so it's just an easier transition. But yeah, I'm really happy with the leather that I've got, and for the 5 to 6 week wait, I would say it's totally worth it. If you love pink, like a baby pink color, and you want to try VDS and you can customize it to whichever way you like, I would, yeah, it's definitely worth the wait. I absolutely love it. The stitching is wonderful. The leather, I can't speak today. The leather is stunning, and yeah, so I hope this video helps. If I've missed anything or you have any other questions, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and then I'll do the flips on a separate video. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.